Here's a rabbit hole. I want to talk about 17. So it started in 2017. My oldest son felt like he was being stalked by these numbers, ones and sevens. My mom ended up, he saw them everywhere. He saw the ones and the sevens everywhere. Receipts, hotel rooms. At one point, the distance between his home and my home was 11 hours and 7 minutes apart. Later that year, my mom died October 17th, 2017. So, first Easter without my mom was Easter 2018. And I was making a post on another social media site. And I was talking about how my mother loved Easter and how every year she would give us stuffed rabbits. And her favorite story was about the Velveteen Rabbit that was a stuffed rabbit. And after it was burned, it turned into a real bunny. After I had pressed post, I looked across my yard. I lived in town. I had never seen a rabbit anywhere in town. And sure enough, across the street, in the yard, the empty vacant lot right across, a rabbit came running across, stopped and stared at me, and then went on its way. And I hadn't seen another rabbit since in that neighborhood. So, my mom used to identify herself as a rabbit from time to time. And anytime I'm going through some hardship, sure enough, there's a rabbit. Just her way of letting me know she's there. Also, the stud muffler and I were choosing a date this week. We called the Justice of the Peace, and the only day they had available was October 17th. Well, not only was that the day my mother passed, but it's a super full moon in her sign of Aries. So, I am now Mrs. Stud Muffler. We got married today. And we went out for dinner at a new restaurant. And the chef is Egyptian. And he was a phenomenal man who came out to the table and sat down with us and was talking to us about the meal, which had my taste buds just bursting. I have to be honest, I don't think I've tasted anything so good. The place is called Magdi's in Terre Haute, Indiana. If you don't know, you should. Anyway, I digress. We're driving home, and we live in town, okay? We live in town, and we're pulling into the driveway. There's a rabbit. It looks, and then it runs away. Never saw a rabbit around here at all. There's just no rabbits around here. There was tonight. So when I was a child, 3 or 4 years old, had to be around 1979. My mom was going to college and she was working. So I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her and I missed her so much. And she felt really bad about not being present for me. And so she would come home with these gifts. And I remember right around Easter of 1979, she came home with this humongous white stuffed rabbit. And it was really unique because it had batteries in it, and every time you would hug the rabbit, it would vibrate. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And she said, Rebecca, I know I'm not always here, but when you miss Mommy, you can hug this rabbit. When you feel it purr, that's Mommy hugging you back. So I feel pretty blessed. And I feel like I got my mother's blessing to be Mrs. Stud Muffler. And that's the way Spirit speaks to me.